So, you live in Williamsburg, Ohio, and you're ready to find a great dog trainer. You've absolutely come to the right place. We're going to walk through everything you need to know to find that perfect local pro for you and your pup. Just picture it for a second. You're on a nice, relaxed walk down the Williamsburg bike trail. No pulling, no stress, and at home, just peaceful, easy afternoons. That's what good training can do. It really helps your dog fit right into our community. So here's our game plan. We'll touch on what life with a dog is like here in town, then get into how to find the right trainer for you, what to expect for costs and local rules, the key questions you need to ask, and then, the fun part, where to practice. All right, first things first, let's talk about what having a dog in Williamsburg is all about and how having a well-behaved one makes you an amazing neighbor. You know, a well-behaved dog is a dog that gets to do more. Training prepares them for pretty much anything, whether it's the excitement of the trails at East Fork State Park or just a busy weekend walking through the village. It just makes life better for everyone involved. You, your dog, and everybody else. Okay, so how do you actually find that perfect trainer? We're going to look at three main things: the methods they use, their credentials, and the different types of programs they offer. This is really the heart of modern dog training. Positive reinforcement is all about rewarding the good stuff, the behaviors you want to see more of. It's not about fear or punishment. Instead, it builds this awesome bond based on trust. And believe me, it works so much better in the long run. Now, when you start looking, you're going to see a bunch of letters after trainers' names. I know, it can look like alphabet soup, but these are actually your best friend. They show a trainer is serious about their education. A CPDT-KA means they've passed a big exam on training knowledge. KPA-CTP means they've got proven hands-on skills. And if you're dealing with tougher issues like fear or aggression, certifications like AI-ABC or CBC-KA are the ones to look for. Trainers have a few different ways of doing things, and what's right for you really depends on your dog and your goals. Group classes, they're amazing for socialization and practicing commands around other dogs. Private lessons are perfect when you need to focus on specific things at home, like barking at the mail carrier. And then there's Board and Train, which is a really intensive, deep dive option for building a solid training foundation. Okay, we've looked at the types of training. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty, how much it costs, and what the local rules are. Just to give you a ballpark idea for your budget, a single 1-hour private session around here usually runs somewhere in this range. Of course, a lot of trainers will offer packages, and that can bring the price per session down a bit. And here's a broader look at what you can expect to pay for different services. A 6-week puppy or group class is typically a few $100s. A package of in-home sessions will be a bit more. And as you can see, a 2-week board and train is a much bigger investment, but it's also the most intensive option. Part of being a great dog owner is just knowing the local rules. Here in Williamsburg and Claremont County, it's pretty straightforward. Your dog needs to be on a 6-foot leash when you're out in public, and they have to have their current rabies tag on their collar. Also, keep in mind that excessive barking can be considered a public nuisance, which training can definitely help with. And one last thing. While Ohio doesn't have a license for individual trainers, any place that offers board and train has to be licensed by the state as a kennel. All right, you've done the research, you've got a budget, and you've probably got a short list of trainers. Now it's time to actually talk to them and pick the one that's right for you. This is your moment to be the interviewer. Seriously, asking good questions is probably the most important step in finding a professional you and your dog will click with. When you get a trainer on the phone or meet them, it helps to have a little checklist. Always ask about their training philosophy first. You want to hear positive reinforcement. Ask what certifications they have. Make sure they're going to create a custom plan for your dog, not just a one-size-fits-all program. And then get into the practical stuff. How will you know your dog is making progress? What are all the fees and what's the cancellation policy? And will they work with your vet if a behavior issue might have a medical cause? That last one is a biggie. Now for the best part. Let's talk about taking all those new skills and putting them to work out in the real world, right here in Williamsburg. We've got some fantastic local spots that are practically made for training practice. The trails over at East Fork State Park are perfect for working on leash manners with all sorts of new smells and sights. The Williamsburg Community Park is great for practicing obedience with everyday distractions. And for off-leash work like recall, you can head to the fenced-in Claremont County Paw Park. Even the bike trail is a great spot to practice. You know, that quote really hits the nail on the head. Finding the right person to help you is such a big investment in a better life with your dog. Hopefully, this guide helps you feel totally confident making that choice. Because having a well-trained companion makes everything better. More peaceful days at home, way more fun adventures around town, and it just builds that amazing bond that you'll have for years.